What's going on, y'all? It's Jay Small Reviews here, back at it again with another video. Little quieter as we lead up to Born Legacy 13, the battle rap streets. Really quiet. Even the drama's kind of quiet, right? It's been, and then on top of that, Twitter went down yesterday. I actually planned on posting yesterday, and rate limit exceeded. Everybody knows what's going on with that. But video for you here today, as you guys can see by the title, doing another installment of the Bookem series. Thought it'd be good to talk about a battle rapper that I just haven't seen really active this year, and a guy that I think has a lot of matchups on the plate. When he does return, and that is Real Sikh's Bookem, going over what I think are the five best next matchups for Real Sikh. A lot of it is going to be top-tier opponents because, as Real Sikh has said himself, he wants to battle nothing really but top-tier opponents. Is where he wants to stay in terms of level of competition. And as per usual with these lists, at number 5, we're going to start with the least likely, maybe a matchup that I just specifically want, and we're going to work our way up to number 1, which I think is the best next battle for Real Sikh to take. Extremely good talent, extremely unique talent at that. I think that's the great thing about Real Sikh is that while the win-loss has obviously been a question, Mr. Good loss is what I've heard a lot of people say, and that's a common debate that we'll go over as we go over each matchup, but there's no one, he produces really great footage almost always, and 2, he's a very unique talent. There's a one-on-one when it comes to Real Sikh. Obviously, there's other people that do the flow pockets, a little bit of the surgical angling to go with it, but his sound and the way he goes about it makes him a very, a rarity of a talent where he's a one-on-one style. So even though the wins haven't kept rolling in yet, the talent is so undeniable, and these are the matchups that I think could best take him to the next level. So at number 5, I actually have a guy who's on, even though he's on the newcomer kind of up and coming side, not part of the top 6 class, but still I'd say is a newer talent. I know that that's kind of something that I've heard like I said, he wants to battle top-tier opponents, but I do think Real Sikh versus Sheed Happens is a very, very good battle. Now that it's a number 5, you obviously, as I said, it's kind of the most unlikely, in my opinion, from how I see things playing out of it getting booked. But off the pure rapping, and on top of the fact they both have a buzz where if it gets booked, it becomes a little bit more of an important battle than people think. I think that we're in this kind of something that people find distasteful or just don't like the process is that a lot of these guys, to build them up, they're just going through rows of top tiers. And the thing is that sometimes there's a lack of development in the middle there that people complain about, where you guys got guys, Jesus Christ, you got guys taking ties, sound like twerk, you have guys taking top tiers, and although they're developing, they're not winning. So by the time that they're kind of they battled 5 to 7 top tiers, they're already kind of in a hole on their resume. It's you're already, starting at a disadvantage, right? And I think a battle like Sheed and Sikh, both of them are 2 of the premier talents from their class, not just in terms of skill, but in terms of buzz. So when you put Sheed and Sikh on a card, it's not just some undercard, whatever, new guys. That could go higher up on a pretty good card. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying a gnome or an SM, but a card of substance. This is a matchup. Pure rapping will be at the forefront. The flow pockets, the unorthodoxness of it that Sheed brings, while Sikh also brings his own uniqueness to it. I just think that it is a great stylistic matchup, and it could work out like Kid Chaos and Sheed, where the battle's good enough where they both just get a big stock boost from it, and both of them could really use that. I also think it kind of adds to that. It's not class versus class, but the best new guys versus the best new guys, right? People want to see them clash head to head, and if you slowly do it on bigger cards and the battles are better, their stock rises from it, just like, beating a top tier, having a great battle with a top tier. So for me, Sheed versus Real Sikh makes a lot of sense. It could even go down on a big stage. Secondly, at the 4 spot, a battle that also I find unlikely because this opponent seems to have issues with URL publicly, but I thought would be great on a rapping note again, and that would be Real Sikh versus Bill Collector. Bill's been talking about he wants to get out of his URL contract. I don't know, maybe Bill doesn't battle again this year, but Bill versus Real Sikh, Bill is considered a top-tier talent at that, and also someone that lately, as he's gotten to his Devil Bar Bill kind of section of his career, a lot of the chain punching, a lot of the back-to-back, and I think that pace would match up really well with Real Sikh's pace in a battle. Continues that kind of, a good battle for Sikh, working upwards, working against another great talent. I think a little easier to win than some of his other battles he's had. No disrespect to Bill. It's about, Pat Stay, RIP the legend Pat Stay, Av, DNA, K-Shine on the stage. Bill is still a very hard challenge, but one that it gives Sikh a little bit more, once again, not just stylistically a better chance, but I think overall, there's just things that he's got a better chance of beating a Bill while the battle is still amazing, and probably has great, high quality, debatable potential because of how good both of their pure rapping is. Funny enough, Sheet and Bill could always compared, even though they're not similar in styles, just the unorthodoxness. And I think those are two matchups that Sikh is one of those guys you can plug and place with a lot of different styles, but when it comes to pure rapping, unorthodox, and pen based battlers, he's going to almost always be a good matchup there. With these two guys, I think it helps him build his profile as well as it just leads to what I think could easily be a great battle. From there, we get into the top three on the list, and at the number three spot, guys that now I think I've seen Sikh call out consistently. We'll talk about these three. I do have Chess. There's so many guys Chess could battle right now. I think Chess is in this unique position. We're coming off really a couple lackluster years, right? I'm not going to say off a couple lackluster years. 2021 was an amazing year, right? Best year of his career, in my opinion. But 2023 has been lackluster, and 2022 was just bad. So he's in the spot where I'm not really in the mood to see Chess anymore. These big matchups are kind of, they talk about Rex and Chess, not really a fan of that battle, but I think Chess and Fonz, fire. Chess and Lou, fire. Chess and Ace, fire. And I add Chess and Sikh to that equation. One could even argue maybe outside of Ace, all right, I don't know. I was going to say Sikh might have earned the matchup most next. I think there's a lot of guys in line for that matchup that are doing great. But when it comes to Sikh, a battle he's asked for, and I think is just good. Top tier rec. Chess is, giving, like I said, he's in this spot where he can battle guys this level that are right on that brink of top tier. And Chess has been looking, someone who's always kind of covered as the favorite. Chess has always done I'm not going to say always covered as the favorite, but Chess has always done really good at the favorite. The wins that he has accumulated in his career mostly come from battling, and kind of showing levels. But lately, you look at a battle like Souffleur Soul, battle where he got by a great talent. I think one of these guys could get him. I think he's going to have a great record overall, but Ace, Fawn, Sikh, I think one of them can get him. Any of them, really. And I think this is just a good one for Sikh. Top tier matchup, fills that slot. Could go on big card or medium sized card. You could throw this on the Gnome or SM undercard. You could throw this as the main event of a Born Legacy, a Traffic, something of that nature. Only it wouldn't be Traffic, neither of them from the West. But you get my point, is that overall there's perks to this matchup for both of them in terms of the booking, the financials of it. Stylistically, what can you ask for? Sikh will be extremely motivated for Chess, as most people are. And Chess is just a name that at peaks, even if he doesn't do good, then Sikh is able to claim a humongous big win. It's not something great that we're looking for, but it's a way to build a talent on the roster. And then if he does do good, if Chess does do good and either beats him or high quality debatable, Sikh is going to be prepared. We know that. And once again, potential for a great, great battle. And that is why I have Chess and Real Sikh at number 3. As we get into the top 2, my second to last matchup, my matchup that I could see him popping out with it, but it's not the exact matchup I necessarily think he should take next. But Real Sikh versus Rum Nitty, in a weird way, it has backstory, not in the classic hostile way, but they were booked, or not booked, but they were about to battle on Traffic 5. It wasn't going to be Bill Collector, it was going to be Sikh. Things changed around there. They were going to team up on the King of the Dot Stay Forever card as a 2-on-2. It was going to be Sikh and Nitty, not Sikh and Lou, but things changed around with that. And it's a battle that I've seen people ask for, maybe not in the same way Nitty has demand now for Calico, for Loaded Lux. Obviously, those are the matches we want him to get. But in between that time, the man can't wait around for 8 months, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you do battle rap full time for those guys. We want those plates. We still want those, but there will be some in between battles. I think you can limit it compared to the past two. You used to take like 10 or 12 battles. They kind of ruined the stock a little bit. Optically, little league stuff. But Sikh is still a very highly respectable battle, very similar to the chess battle. Could open up on Gnome or SM or something like that, while also being the main event on a card like Traffic 5, like they were. Stylistically, people want to see Nitty, Sikh, the way that they can write, always prepared for 3 rounds. The only thing with this is that it's going to be hard for me to see Sikh winning this battle. Raps a little bit shorter rounds, doesn't have the exact punch count or haymaker count to match a Nitty. And while it could be a great, great battle, I think it could once again go into that good loss category. But Rum Nitty is great at producing great battles. You don't turn down that opportunity, and he typically brings the best out of his opponents. This could be a huge stock raiser for Sikh, no matter the situation, against one of the best in the world, and that's why, to me, it's one of the best battles Sikh could take. And that gets us into the final matchup, the one that I think would be best for Real Sikh to take next. Top tier opponent who's been doing a lot of gatekeeping this year, and that is TTop versus Real Sikh. When it comes to TTop as a talent, he's once again one of those guys that's really been through it all, been through the top tier parts. Couple of the god tier plates missing or something of that nature, like it is with most top tiers. Really, it's so hard to obtain those plates if you're not the company man for a few years at a time. But battle tested, the gnomes, the SMs, double impacts, volumes, all types of top tier matchups, mid tier matchups, and now even been doing some gatekeeping with matchups like Real Name Brandon, True Foe, things of that nature. And I think right here it could be similar like the Loso battle we took, where it's a guy kind of that brink of top tier, looking for one of those another top tier kind of like buzz battle, either a great debatable or a win that boosts them and maybe gives them that title. And I think when it comes to T-Top and Real Sikh, angling is something to factor in. We know what T-Top is as an angler. We know what Real Sikh is as an angler. I think both of those gentlemen, angling is one of the top skill sets they have. For one of them, 100% is. For Sikh, I think there's a little bit more variance. I think T-Top has obviously the experience factor. That's something that Sikh's had maybe a little bit of issue working over, but each battle he's going to keep facing. That's what you want to keep battling top tiers. Is not going to change. There's going to be that experience. There's going to be that IQ factor, and you're going to be at a disadvantage there. And it's all about battling to the point that you either match that or surpass it. I think he has a good chance at T-Top. I think content-wise, he can do more than T-Top when it comes to just punch quality, uniqueness in the patterns in the pen. And T-Top is typically good against punchers, but when it comes to pens, there's a little more variance there. So I think it's just a good matchup, one that he's asked for a long time. I don't think it will be hard to book either if you look at the pattern of opponents that T-Top has taken. And to me, this is a great battle for Real Sikh to get back in the swing of things. A top tier that's still very challenging to beat, but not the most challenging. You know what I'm saying? You're not coming back to Nitty or Rock. Remember, last year he didn't battle much, and then he comes back out of nowhere, K-Shine on a big stage. There has to be a little bit of lead up. You have to know, not that you can't beat a guy, but you can't just jump back after months not in the game into one of the hardest matchups there is, right? So I think that T-Top, while being a very hard matchup, a very respected top tier, it's a battle that is winnable, or at least, can be made debatable. There's a good chance for Sikh there stylistically, just leveling comp and just looking at the way T-Top's performed. And if you want to return, get back in the swing of things, I think T-Top is a great battle to start off if you want to start battling a few top tiers in a row. And for me, it would be the next best battle for Real Sikh to take. And with that being said, guys, that is the end here for Real Sikh's Book'em. I like the 5 I chose. A lot of it is the pure rapping and orthodox kind of stylistic clashing, but I think matchups like T-Top, like Chess, bring energy and really star power to Sikh's resume. I can tell that just the way he's battled, he's clearly a guy that wants to battle upwards, which I think is always great. Being smart with the plates that he picks. And I think that all of these are the top tier looks. In a funny world, it's like you want to give a guy top tier looks, but it's like you got to be... I always use the word realistic on this channel because I don't want to discuss battles and get people's hopes up and they never happen. And it's just, you look at the way the guys promote, the way the guys book, and you see people on lanes, almost on different missions. And I think the way that just that T-Top kind of gatekeeping, and not even gatekeeping, but just battling people, giving people looks, meets up with the Real Sikh side of it. I think Real Sikh is so talented that he's bound to finally get a couple big W's in some of these big top tier matchups. I know he did in the beginning versus like the Magics, the Arsenals, but those of like extreme value, ones where we think he can lose or he's the underdog either by slightly or a lot going in, and he pulls out a victory to prove that, on any given night, Real Sikh could beat a top tier. Those are the type, I think that's like the last question we have to ask to see if he's top tier. The buzz is there, the resume is there, really the skill set and uniqueness and style is there. It just needs to churn out to some results, a little bit of results, a couple wins that we can hang our hat on. Or the twerk battle is a great step in that direction, right? Near classic, we'll see if it's a classic over time. You get a couple signature wins in there, and then it's no question, I think Real Sikh regularly becomes a Noman SM type of guy. But you guys let me know down below, what do you think in the comments is Real Sikh's best next battle that he can take? What do you want to see him take next? I bet I'll see answers all over the place, and that's the fun of it. His career is still such a wide open book. Although he still battled JC, Av, Pat's Day, DNA, K-Shine, right? There's still a ton of battles there to hit for him to still prove himself with new talent coming in. Like the Sheed, even a Foots, I didn't mention him, but it's a matchup I thought of. There's plenty of work out there for Real Sikh, and he's still, in my opinion, going to be an integral part of URL's future moving forward. But it's been JSmo Reviews again, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. Like I said, let me know down below, what do you think would be the best matchup for Real Sikh? I'm going to catch you on the next one, man. Peace.